Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. 41 of our men are trapped in a tunnel in Uttarakhand. These men were trying to build us a road that will save 1 hour from point A to point B. Let's talk about these 41 men. Let's talk about their rescue operations. Let us talk about what exactly and how exactly this collapse happened. Let's get right into the show. Like I said, 41 of our men are trapped in a tunnel in Uttarakhand. Now, let's understand what happened. You see, the NHAI, that is the National Highway Authority of India, decided to drill a tunnel between a place called Silkyara and Dandalgaon. Silkyara and Dandalgaon. Now, this is 4.5 kilometer long tunnel. Now, Silkyara and Dandalgaon are en route from Uttarkashi to Yamunotri. So, en route Uttarkashi to Yamunotri, this 4.5 kilometer tunnel would have helped the passenger to save 1 hour of their travel time. So, it was a good project. It would save 1 hour. This contract was handed over to a Andhra-based company called Navyuga Constructions Company and another subcontractor of theirs called VSL Construction Company. So, these two companies were actually doing this drilling of 4.5 kilometers. Now, there's a Twitter handle who has actually done hand drawing but explained the situation beautifully, explained the scene beautifully. So, I'm going to use his hand drawing, courtesy to him. I'm going to use his hand drawing and I'm going to try and explain this to you. Now, the way this drilling was happening is, there was one group of people drilling from Dandalgaon towards Silkyara and another group of people drilling from Silkyara to Dandalgaon. This is how it was. Now, mind you, the group drilling from Silkyara had drilled close to 2.3 kilometers and the group drilling from Dandalgaon to Silkyara had drilled 1.6 kilometers. They were almost there, just 600 more meters to drill and the tunnel would have been complete. This is when the calamity struck. What happened was, the group that was drilling from Silkyara to Dandalgaon, 400 meters behind them, the tunnel collapsed. It was 60 meters of debris, 60 meters of debris. The tunnel collapsed and trapped them. But luckily, these 41 had this 400 meters. So, 400 meters is where they are currently. They survived in that 400 meters. There was no debris in that 400 meters. So, 400 meters from the place they were drilling, and like I said, the debris was 60 meters and there is 205 meters which they have already dug. So, this is how the situation is currently. Like I said, 41 people are currently surviving for the last 9 days, surviving between this 400 meters. The administration immediately, what they try to do is what anybody would try to do. Try to clear the debris as fast as possible so that these people could be rescued out. And in the process, when they started cleaning the debris, the tunnel started collapsing more. The debris there were more debris that were falling. So they realized that this is dangerous and it could only create more danger for the people who are trapped in that 400 meters. So they stopped clearing debris. Then what they did is they drilled a hole. They drilled a hole and put a pipeline through the hole so that they could reach these 41 trapped people in that 400 meter gap and send food and water through that small pipe, which they did successfully. Now, post which they thought, look, if we could drill a small pipe through the debris, why not drill a bigger one where we can get our people out? They tried that, but they were not successful in that because the larger pipe couldn't be drilled. It couldn't be drilled. So that's where they were stuck. Now, this is the situation. The situation is people inside are still stuck. Food, water somehow are being managed. Even I think walkie-talkie are also being sent through that same pipe. So, somewhat food, water, like I told you, have been managed, but yet they are stuck. One doesn't know what is the oxygen level, one doesn't know the state in which they are, so on and so forth. Now, the administration has been working round the clock, no doubt about it. The administration has been doing everything possible to ensure that they rescue these 41 people. So, at the moment, they have 5 options. I will try and discuss those 5 options with you. The option number 1 they have is to call in Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam and ask them to drill a vertical hole into the tunnel. Okay, horizontal hole nahi hua. Horizontal hole they couldn't. So, the idea is now to drill a vertical hole from top so that they can put another pipe and they can rescue these people through that vertical hole. So that's what they're asking Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam to do. The Rail Vikas Nigam started a vertical pipeline. Now, mind you, I told you there's a horizontal pipeline that's going to give them food and water. Now, the Railway Vikas Nigam board is trying to do a vertical pipeline so that food and water can be sent through the vertical pipeline. So that's what the Railway Vikas Nigam is doing. The third option they have is to call ONGC. Now, ONGC are expert diggers. They are expert deep diggers. So they are trying to call ONGC and start work on vertical digging. Another group which is trying to dig vertically and trying to get the people out. The fourth is the National Highway Infrastructure Development Body will continue to drill from the main Silkyara, the main Silkyara side and try to get the debris out. Like I told you, they will continue to drill and try to get the debris. But this time around, they are accompanied by the army. Army is building a canopy so that the drilling is safe, the people are safe, and also ensure that the tunnel may not further collapse. So that too is happening. That's option number 4. Option number 5 and the last option is the Tehri Hydro Development Corporation will work on micro tunneling, creating small tunnels so that through those tunnels, one of those tunnels successfully going into that 400 meters where these 41 people are and trying to rescue them. So these are the 5 options that the administration is working on currently, and that's what is happening currently. So that's one. Now, like I told you before, the worry is that it's not just about physical, how these 41 people would be affected physically. It's also about how these 41 people will be affected mentally. Imagine being trapped in a 400 meter space, both side debris, very little oxygen, very little food. So they're fearing not only physical trauma, but also mental problems. And that's what doctors are fearing. So that's what the current status is. They've also gotten an expert called Arnold Dix. Arnold Dix is an international tunneling expert. So he's also been gotten so that we can use his expertise to rescue our people. So that's what the government is trying to do. Interestingly, before this project started, there was a temple outside the tunnel area. There was a temple and this temple was very revered. A lot of locals were very upset when the construction company wanted to remove this temple because that was obstructing their drilling. Finally, they removed the temple and like I told you, a lot of locals were very upset about it. They removed the temple and this tunnel collapsed. Not that I'm saying that there is any relation. That's not the idea of telling you this story. But the point is this temple was removed and the tunnel collapsed. And today, they have reconstructed the temple back. They have reconstructed the temple back. And Arnold Dix, before starting his work, first went into this temple, prayed to the higher power, and then started his work. You see, whatever it takes, I hope those 41 people are rescued, and I hope they're brought out safe and reunited with their families. I mean, I can understand what they may be going through. Till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Namaskar.